Okay, well now my air compressor's broke. It's always something, it's always something. It's leak. There's a little bitty hole. The little hole, air keeps blowing out that hole. It'll pump up, shut off, and just turns around, comes right back on. So the air won't stop leaking. So now I'm going to take that apart and see if I can't see what the deal is. It's always something. It's always something. Well, maybe onto something. See, this thing just unscrews. When I took it out, I noticed that little disc has cocked sideways. So that's why air is leaking out. But now I need to find out why did it go sideways. What's going on with it? Because if it's sideways, the O-ring cannot seal. If the O-ring can't seal, we're going to be blowing air. So let's investigate. Okay, I got some better light here. And it's coming back to me now as I took this apart. So I took this apart, I found that washer in there. Then I remembered some years ago, I remember I wanted to get a little bit more pressure out of it. It wasn't giving my 200 psi that I wanted. So I added that little washer, just a lock washer, but I flattened it out. So when I tighten down on a regulator, it applies it, the spring, it's just threaded. You see how it works. So the spring pushes down and constantly adds more and more psi. I had that little washer just to get a little bit more, but for whatever reason, this thing's starting to rock sideways because all the pressure is sort of in the center. So my thought is, if I get me a flat washer that would go almost all the way across, like a fender washer, maybe that'd keep it from rocking sideways. Because you can see it's got a little bit of wear on it there. On that side, that's where it's been rocking sideways. And it's kind of tweaked out the plastic. Or, what about this? Could I just flip it over? I don't know. Alright, do some thinking. Okay, I think I may have solved it. A couple different things. I've also found in taking this apart. This is on the lower side of the regulator, because you got the high, you got the tank side, the high pressure, like up to 200 psi. Then you got the regulated side, which you can take it down to 10 psi, 20, whatever you want. So these two springs fight each other. But I noticed this spring, which normally sits here like that, and the little valve sits here. Well, it was fully compressed like that. That spring was all the way squeezed. So that spring was all the way down like that. So that was causing full tank pressure to come against this side. So maybe that was causing it to kick sideways. But I also got to digging around. I found me a washer, just the right size. So I found me a washer. So I'm going to put that on there and put all this back together. So I'm thinking that'll keep it from rotating. And I've got that lubed up now, so this works properly. And maybe, just maybe, I can fix this without buying any parts. Just added a washer to it and lubed up these O-rings where they'll operate and seal better. Gets a lot of moisture in there. I actually just added a dryer to it, so maybe that'll help prolong the life of this thing. So let me put these little parts back together and just see if it actually works. Just for a little more clarity of where that part is, I was showing you that part that was stuck. So right there it is. See, now I can push it down. Before I couldn't do that, it was froze. You see, like on this side, that's tank side pressure. Anything on this side is regulated pressure. So with that being stuck, it allowed full tank pressure to blow in here. I had 200 psi sitting on that little disc. And so I'm thinking this is going to get me fixed. So I'll finish putting this together, plug it up, let it pump up to 200 psi, and hopefully things will be quiet and won't be leaking all my air back out. And just in case you don't know, maybe it helps you understand how this regulator works. because remember this has that big heavy spring in it. There's that washer and that disc. And you got this little bitty spring in here. And so, let's put this together. And then I'll put this knob on here, and then as this turns, you know, the big spring pushes against the small spring, and as they fight one another, that's what gives you the regulated pressure. So you turn it up, turn it down. So that's sort of kind of give you the idea of how that works. So I'm going to snug this up, plug it up, and see what happens. Listen. Listen close. Do you hear that? That's it. You don't hear nothing. That's because it's fixed. See, there's my regulated side now. There's my tank side, tank pressure, what I'm looking at. Just a little over 200 looks like. And then I crank this knob down. You can see my pressures go up. And everything is nice and quiet, not losing any air now. That is pretty cool. I like it. So I fixed it with what? A washer. I'd add a washer and clean some parts up. That's all it took. So if something's broke, take it apart, figure it out. You ain't got nothing to lose, it's already broke. So anyway, stay curious. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.